And a good Wednesday to all of you on CWTAP. It's time for the Corner Kick. Alex Fidrishevsky and the familiar face back in the familiar space as well, Bobby Celentano, joining us here today in a beautiful kit here, Bobby. How you doing today?
Good. How are you doing, Alex?
Oh, I'm always
Happy
doing
October.
well. We're at X Golf. I'm always happy when we're here.
Yeah, especially as we're getting through this final heat wave of the fall, and it's going to start to get cooler out.
No.
X Golf is going to be the place to come to.
X Golf is going to be the place to come. 80 Kunkel Drive in Easton. Make sure you call them today because, once we hit November, tee times here become a premium, and we're probably going to get red carded at some point, and we're going to be doing this from a basement somewhere in Palmer Township.
Yeah, I feel like a month from now, trying to do this show here, it'd be quite loud.
Yeah,
but we appreciate the folks having us.
Oh no, listen, Tom and his crew are absolutely awesome, and we are more than happy to.
Yeah. And
find a new home when they get full for the winter.
Well, first thing I noticed walking in here today was you were talking to one of the patrons, and they were wearing an NYCFC soccer kit.
It is amazing how things are changing in this world. 20 years ago, you wouldn't have even thought about finding one person in the Valley with a soccer jersey walking around. Now, in the last 3 trips here, we had Tottenham Hotspur fan, then we had New York City, and it wasn't some David Villa jersey.
Yeah.
It was an Alexandru Mitrița jersey. This is special. This is a whole nother level.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with all the other sports going on right now. It's okay, maybe they're getting into NHL preseason or watching the MLB playoffs.
They're ready for the playoffs.
Or NFL game or something. But to come here basically in a MLS kit, I was like, wow, we are definitely growing the game, whether the naysayers believe it or not.
Oh, it's definitely happening. Look at the amount of soccer that is available on television every week. Yeah. It's amazing, and I think it's great. That's even better. Is that it's available for free. Should we before we get the show started? What are we wearing here?
So I know there's some kits that are technically banned from the show. I won't bring them up to upset you.
They're not clubs. They're
Bethlehem Leal, the Bethlehem Steel. Anyways,
the fake team. If you went and got an Archie Stark original,
Archie Stark,
I would allow it. That's right. See, Lehigh Valley soccer historians will know.
No, because I certainly didn't. Archie Stark played in 1910. And over 100 years ago, and was the Pele of the time. He was the Messi, the Ronaldo, and he played for our own Bethlehem Steel. That's the Bethlehem Steel Alex is referring to.
That's right. If you go get a 1912 Archie Stark jersey, we're in business here, buddy.
That would be so cool if the Bethlehem Steel or the remnants of it release some type of 100-year, 120-year special edition.
The company no longer exists.
I know, but the Wind Creek does, and they use the steel stacks. So
fair enough.
Maybe someone. But anyways, the kit I'm wearing is from a 4th Division U.S. soccer team named San Francisco City FC. I've been following this team for probably the past 10 years. At the time, they were playing in the PDL, which the USL, it was the USL PDL. They now play in USL League 2, which is under MLS. It's under the USL Championship. It's under USL League 1.
The amateur league.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no.
And I know
you can get paid in that league.
Alex doesn't like the phrase semi-pro, but it's hard to describe a league where some players are paid and some aren't. So, yeah, they are an amateur league team, but they have aspirations to go pro. The club's actually fan-owned, and I always think they have some of the coolest kits. This one was from a couple years ago. Movie Pass was the sponsor that year, it went defunct and then it came back. And I've always had a love for it. There's some huge sports teams that play in San Francisco. You have the Golden State Warriors. You have the 49ers. Who am I missing? Basketball? I said Golden State.
You said Golden State.
San Francisco. I'm missing
The Giants?
The Giants. That was the big one I was missing from MLB.
Oh no, they're not in Oakland
Oh.
anymore, are they? No.
So you have these
They've
big-
relocated, but you do have Oakland. You have another USL team.
Yeah.
You have the Roots.
And so you have these big teams from San Francisco, but really none that were representing soccer on the main stage. There was the Deltas for a couple years. These guys actually predate them. And I think what they're doing is great. I hope they go to USL League one day and then work their way up the ladder.
It would be a great market for USL to be able to kind of reestablish a professional side
Yeah.
in. And if you could get them, because I don't think Oakland is going. I'm just speculating. I don't think Oakland is going to the D1 route of USL. They're renting the baseball stadium, and it's a hot mess.
Yeah.
But could we get like a San Francisco City into League One?
That would be really
Oakland resets into League One. Then you have this like cross-bay soccer
That
rivalry.
would be incredible. And I think San Francisco, oh, man, I should have looked. It's either Kezar Stadium or Kenworth. One plays in Detroit, one plays San Francisco.
Kezar is in San Francisco.
Okay, so-
Keyworth is in Hamtramck, Michigan. Detroit City is leaving there.
Okay, so
Yes.
I
Did
knew
you
it
see?
was-
Did you see the renderings of the new one in Detroit?
I did. It looked gorgeous.
Not as nice as what's going on in Pittsburgh, though.
No, I mean, so
I'm biased. JJ and I talked about it.
I'm going to Pittsburgh in 2 weeks. I can't wait. For it's
2
a work
weeks?
trip. But
Hold on. What week is that? Is that the week of the 20th?
Yes, it is.
We're not doing Bangor Penn Argyle that week.
I looked if the Riverhounds were playing, and unfortunately, I won't be there while they're playing.
That's okay. We'll get you in the ground again.
Yeah. But we figured we'd start today's show opposite of how we normally do. And when I was here last time and when JJ's here, usually you guys start in Europe. And I came in
We
today.
start with the superior product.
I came in today and I pounded my fist against the table and I said, I want to start as local as we can go
As inferior a product as possible.
and grow. And then we can talk about Europe. But I wanted us, we're a local station. Let's talk local soccer and soccer throughout the states. Where should we begin then? Should we begin in the top flight of Major League Soccer, which I adore and you seem to
If you really-
throw disdain over?
If you really want to get as local as possible, if the internet's going to cooperate with us here,
Ooh, I can only imagine.
the closest team to us right now happen to be the Leopards of Lafayette. They are 4-5-3.
Okay.
Lafayette won their last game on Saturday. They beat American, which was a Patriot League game. They are not home again until the 25th. They only play like one game a week now in college soccer. They've tried to extend this season. I think it was Sasho Charovsky was the one who originally had said that we do it all wrong. He was at Maryland.
Yeah.
And he had said we need to go to a 30-week college soccer season where they play once a week, 15 weeks, and they follow the academic semester. Like third week of August, second week of December, come back in February and go February to mid-May.
Yeah, I mean, for every other sport in the States, the college game is huge in developing talent. You see it in baseball. You see it in football. For soccer,
it was, and now it's no longer.
It was with the likes of guys like Sasha Kleshchin, Seton Hall University, and coming up through the ranks that way. Now it's changed a little bit, but I still love it. I love that the games are televised, the Patriot League, and I love Lafayette's stadium as well. I live very close to it. I walk past it weekly, and
also worth noting, the Pards are unbeaten in 4.
Ooh.
2 wins and 2 draws, playing very well in the Patriot League.
You can't get more local than this.
That's a good start. Lehigh, they're hated rivals, 5-3-3, a good season for the Mountain Hawks as well. They won their last game as well. They beat Holy Cross on Sunday.
Goodman Stadium?
They play at the Ulrich Sports Complex. Football is Goodman.
Goodman, it was football. Okay, nice.
So they'll play at American. Their next home game is Tuesday, October the 14th, at home against St. Joe's at 6 o'clock p.m. I might have to go over there next Tuesday.
That's a good one.
I think I might make it over to Lehigh next Tuesday. The 18th, they're home against Bucknell as well. Now let's see how my old alma mater's doing. You want to start
Always
local,
finds
Bobby?
A way to talk about his alma mater.
Bobby wanted to start local. So I'm going to take them as local as it gets. The Moravian Greyhounds are 4-3-3 this year. They are now unbeaten in 3. Positive results in 4 out of 5. Their only loss was away to number 21, their national top 25 D3, Ithaca. So not a bad season for Moravian. They are home as we record against Drew. So we'll have to see how
how that shakes out.
fare. I don't talk about the other guys.
I mean, I don't know if I ever mentioned this to you, but I almost went to Moravian. I didn't. But I almost did.
The biggest mistake of Bobby Celentano's life.
Yeah, and maybe if I known Alex a couple years prior, maybe he would have talked me into it. I know you love your alma mater, and it seems like their soccer club's doing quite well.
JJ's Bulldogs of DeSales, where he played, 3-6-2 this year. Struggling a little bit for DeSales, but we'll see how they do the rest of the way as well. So there's the local,
That's
baby.
as local as it gets. We're about a mile away from Lafayette.
Right? Well, with 30 counties, local could also mean we should be doing Wilkes, Kings, Scranton. This could take the whole show.
Yeah. What's it, with 32 counties?
Bucknell is in our viewing area.
Yeah. We might have to have a soccer-specific show.
Westchester.
About local.
Stroudsburg.
Yeah. Well,
Albright. We can really go crazy here.
The other night I tuned into the high school football show, and I was really impressed with what the guys are doing on your station and bringing. I wish we had that for soccer, but the demand's just not there. I drove by. Can I say this here in Easton? I drove by Phillipsburg Friday night was playing. And I was amazed, their football team, how packed the stadium was. I know Peaburg-Easton's always a big rivalry.
They also had a big game on Friday with West Orange, but that's that's normal over there.
So it's a normal thing, and I hope one day we can get there with soccer in this country. It's going to take a long time, but that would be incredible.
Culture is shifting a little bit, though. I mean, there's football teams across the Commonwealth now who are getting hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially the smaller schools, as they add soccer. They're losing the running backs and the wide receivers and the D-backs. And, I think a lot of parents, they're not keen on their kids playing tackle football anymore.
Well, yeah, and I always think, we have some of the best athletes in the world. Can you imagine if the guys that were playing in the NFL or the NBA or MLB, if they put their talents to soccer from a young age instead of choosing maybe a more traditional sport?
I've always said the same about rugby.
Yeah.
Imagine if we took 1% of our football players and got them into rugby, like not even NFL players, right? Let's take a running back from like a Division I running back and a Division I tight end, couple D1 wide receivers, and teach them how to play rugby. I would have to believe that the United States would be within the top 5 in the world in 10
We do have
years.
a league, the MLR, Major League Rugby.
We have that now.
I didn't know if you knew that. Professional rugby, it does exist in the States, and it seems to be growing. I don't know if it's growing at the pace that we're seeing like in lacrosse. That's huge, their league. But they're all, you would think, soccer.
It's the most accessible sport.
It is, and actually Matthew McConaughey the other night at the U.S. Open Cup final between Austin and Nashville, he brought that point up. He's like, MLS is really growing, and we see it overtaking the NHL and hopefully one day the NBA. And I don't think you'll ever reach the NFL level, but it is certainly growing.
Not without switching the schedule around.
Yeah, which brings us to talking about my favorite league, Major League Soccer, which is...
We have to refine these tastes.
When I recently I started going to a run club in Easton.
Okay.
And, you're meeting new people, and the first thing I talk about is soccer. And, first I talk about MLS, and people are like, oh, okay. And then you start going all these different leagues, like, wow, you really know, like, a lot of clubs. Start talking to one guy about Santos Laguna in Mexico, and it's always funny seeing where other people's soccer knowledge is at. And when you say MLS, everyone is always like, oh yeah, like this guy knows soccer. Talking about Major League Soccer, they want to talk about Real Madrid and Barcelona.
You should lead off with some team from Kazakhstan next time.
What was that Thai team that I just showed you?
Oh, who was that that's playing there now?
Yeah, from Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
What was his name? Here it is. Former Crystal Palace player Andros Townsend.
Townsend
is currently playing for Thai League One club Canterbury Power. That's impressive.
That should be the club of the week.
That should be.
We
the
might
club
have
of the
to,
week.
during a commercial, make that my club of the week. I might swap mine out.
Yeah. Okay. I may have to do some research on a Thai one club, but we can make it work. I've seen some wilder things.
Bury Ram United.
And I talked
Of
about.
course, I know a team in Thailand.
I talked about my kit, what I'm wearing. You didn't mention what you're wearing.
So I had to match Bobby. I couldn't just sit here in a shirt. Went to the car and I grabbed my raincoat, which is the Wisła Kraków raincoat official, the weather wicking technology, because like any good Gopnik from Eastern Europe, it's from Adidas.
He's like so Polish.
And
it's incredible.
Yeah, I actually got this at the club shop like 10 years ago when I was on a trip there. And really, this is something that only the players and the technical staff get. And I was able to finagle my way to get one and bring it back to the States. But, first place in the second division right now in Poland, sold out at the weekend, 3-0 win. Second place, another team from Kraków, Wieczista. And JJ was chomping at the bit because I laid out 2 weeks ago a potential scenario. I don't know if it's going to play out. There's a long way to go. But at that point, Cracovia, first place in the Ekstraklasa. Wisła Kraków, first place in the second division. Wieczista, second place. So you could have had champion promotion, and Hutnik Kraków was first place in Druga Liga, the third division. I'm like, I want to see champion of the country, champion promotion, and champion promotion to the second division. Do you know what that last day would be like? No. It would have been amazing. The party in the city, it was shut down for 2 weeks.
Well, one thing I've always appreciated about CWTAP is embracing the Polish roots, whether through you and Jeffrey's polka music or through your love of Wisła Kraków and the Polish national team.
Well, Polish national team and I are at odds right now.
I think you have a polka show filming coming up, don't you?
We do. On Sunday, we will be at the Barnyard Market.
Wow.
Do you know whose voice is still on the Barnyard Market commercial?
Great
this
folks
guy.
over there.
It is airing right now on CWTAP. Come on out and see Bubber.
Yeah. Great.
And his fine staff. Steelworkers will be there from 12 until 4. Yours truly up on stage with Dave, Joey, and Eddie.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the Valley right now, and that could be a whole other show between Oktoberfest and Latin Fest and Garlic Fest and Bacon Fest. A lot's going on in Lehigh Valley, and CWTAP is always there and on location and really tuned in with the local community.
Speaking of, let's get into the soccer side. Philadelphia Union winning the Supporters Shield this year.
Yeah, big congratulations to them. Now, as a New York Red Bulls fan, I didn't love seeing that, but it's nice to see local teams do well. We see the Phillies are in the playoffs. We're seeing the Philadelphia Union winning the Supporters Shield. So I was really happy for them, actually.
The Union did it right, to only one home loss.
Yeah.
You got to protect your home ground no matter what league you're in, and they certainly did it the right way. 12 wins, 1 loss, and 4 draws.
Yeah, they had a really great regular season. I hope they can continue that in the playoffs. Unfortunately, I saw Quinn Sullivan, one of their starters, and kind of a U.S. men's national team fringe player, I would say, got injured, out for the rest of the season. Maybe it's time they put the 15-year-old Cavan in for him.
Well, they'll just put him in for his brother, yeah.
Yeah, just same name on the back of the kit. What else you got to do?
Yeah, Cavan is already signed at 18 to go to Manchester City.
Yeah, that's incredible. If you haven't stumbled upon that news article, basically last year, he at the age of, I think, 14.
14. They signed the pre-contract.
He made his debut at 14. I think he just maybe turned 15 recently. He's already signed to Manchester City. So local talent down in Chester. And, I'm excited to see what these MLS playoffs are looking like. The big news this week has been the retirement of multiple Miami players, and also my beloved New York Red Bulls getting kicked out of the playoff contention after 15 years.
Yeah, it's the first time that the Harrison office has missed the postseason. Even in the expanded postseason, they managed to miss it. For fans of the Harrison local, I think alarm bells should probably now be going off for them. Went to a couple of games, left them all at halftime. They don't look the part anymore. And clearly the front office has no interest right now in righting the ship. And I'm not sure where they even start there. They need upgrades at 5 or 6 positions. The New York City game I had mentioned with JJ, Carlos Cornell looked terrible in goal.
He announced that was his last game. This season is going to be his last
with Red Bull.
Yeah, he's not planning on coming back. Fans are definitely super upset. I mean, this is a team that I don't know what was in the water from the MLS Cup final last year between LA Galaxy and the New York Red Bulls, but this season's just been not good.
Well, they didn't make the upgrades that were necessary.
No,
they knew they needed a 6. They knew they needed an 8. They knew they needed 2 outside backs. They knew they needed 2 center backs, and they didn't make signings that were appropriate.
It's frustrating from a fan's perspective too. There's guys like Timo Werner playing at Red Bull Leipzig. The story there was he's getting paid $10 million by Red Bull to play at Leipzig, but I think last I checked he's played under 5 minutes in the Bundesliga this
he's
season.
Spare parts now.
But Red Bull New York didn't want to give him that same amount to actually play. And from a player's perspective, I can understand it. It's like, I'm getting paid the same amount. I don't have to leave my home country. Why should I go to New York and be on a losing squad that's not making the playoffs?
So the thing for me is Timo Werner isn't the missing piece.
No.
There's already enough in the attack between Forsberg and Choupo-Moting, who played pretty well this year. He's not the most agile striker, but he knows how to finish. And for them, they had all these other positional upgrades and decided to go with 18-year-olds.
Yeah, and they were starting Julian Hall this
Bright
season.
future. I love that kid.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me a bit of like Tyler Adams' start with the New York Red Bulls. You have this young guy, fiery, wants to be on the field as much as possible. And, Red Bull's done a good job over the years, like, developing talent.
That's the goal. That's all they're doing anymore.
And they've done a great job with it. Unfortunately, that's now their model. That's the only way they're looking to get players. And unfortunately, MLS, you just can't compete with only homegrown talent now.
Not anymore, no. And I think I get it. Their academy model, we're going to just sell. Like, we want to try to run these guys through, and we're going to sell somebody.
Yeah.
And
Tyler Adams, Matt Miazga, the list goes on
and on. And he'll be the next one. I know they're doubling down, and Schwartz doubled down on Ronald Donkor this year.
Yeah.
Not impressed.
Really?
I think he's terrible.
Okay.
Flat out.
What about the other guys like Serge Ngoma?
Can't stay healthy.
Or Sacco? Who am I thinking of?
Sofo.
Yeah.
Potential.
I was getting mixed up with Arsenal Saka.
Sofo has a lot of speed.
Yeah.
From what I saw of Red Bull a little bit this year, I think Hall is their guy.
Yeah.
And he's probably the most sellable of the lot.
And it's tough because now on the other side, NYCFC is doing quite well. Currently sitting 5th with, I think they still have a game to play.
Yeah, one more match to go for them.
They're getting their new stadium, not 2026, 2027, going right across Citi Field. Like, the water's looking bright for NYCFC right now. They already have an MLS Cup under their belts. At this point, with the New York Red Bulls, Red Bull Arena is now Sports Illustrated Stadium. I feel like there's almost I wouldn't be surprised if one day.
Are they apathetic?
Well, one day I'd almost be surprised if it's not the New York Red Bulls, but it's the New York, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know if they get bought out.
A new franchise owner probably couldn't hurt them. They need a fresh start. It's clear that they've set their course, and this is what it's going to be. And the fans that remain need to accept that this is what it's going to be.
Red Bull's left markets before. Now it was, I believe, Red Bull Ghana that they stopped. But it's not it's not unheard of that they would.
Yeah, and and I think you look at some of these other teams that miss the playoffs in the East. Some of them are toys. New England, Kraft. It's just space filler.
Yeah. They need a stadium.
He has said for 20 years, "Oh, we're trying to get South Boston." Well, if Bob Kraft was serious about South Boston, getting on the south side of Boston by the station there, that whatever Back Bay or whatever the train station is. Bob Kraft, all he has to do is pick up the phone, call the mayor of Boston, and she will make sure that he gets that land.
Yeah.
It's that simple. So that's just lip service until proven otherwise. Montreal, again, Joey Saputo's got his baby now. Bologna is his child. They are a European team.
He basically and Fiorentina.
They basically said that, I think it was JJ who brought this up first, that he basically just owns the team on paper in Montreal, that he owns that franchise, but he's not involved in the day-to-day at all anymore. DC United has been a dumpster fire for a long time.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter. And Ben Olsen stuck it out with them.
And they got that beautiful stadium. Audi Field is nice.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it gets destroyed by the UFL, the DC Defenders playing on it. But
I think the one that stands out for me that missed the playoffs this year, and I think it'll bring about a change because he does spend money, is Arthur Blank. And I said this last week with JJ. Atlanta is second from bottom in the East. They do have talented players there. He spent money to get Almiron back. They have Miranchuk. I was talking about this, a week ago. There are players there.
They have the fan base too.
They have fans. Ronnie Dyla's going to be out.
Yeah.
I would be shocked if he isn't.
Yeah, that was definitely a surprise. The East is pretty much set. We know who's not making the playoffs, and we know who's making the playoffs. The West looks a lot different right now.
There's a couple teams that are in contention
it looks like
here.
Dallas, Salt Lake, Colorado, San Jose all still have a chance of making the playoffs.
Bruce Arena still trying to work a little bit of magic in there at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And LA Galaxy fell victim to parity league. When you win and all your players are due the raise, when you're in a parity league with a salary cap, you have to get rid of all of them, and now they're in last place. But that's by design.
Didn't help Ricky Pooch got hurt at the end of last season, but I know one player
isn't going to make the they had to gut the whole squad.
The Galaxy also lost recently to Toluca in the Campeones Cup, which is winner of Liga MX versus the winner of MLS.
A fake creation.
Yeah. And but they
with
lost
no
that.
meaning.
They lost that as well. So Galaxy's just had a rough year altogether.
Not their best season for the Carson office. Miami, when we talked about, you said Busquets and Jordi are retiring. Busquets departing, I said this last week, paves the way for Rodrigo de Paul.
Yeah.
I think that it's probably one of the worst kept secrets in soccer worldwide.
Yeah.
And I'd be shocked if it doesn't happen.
Yeah, he's currently on loan. He wants to play with Messi, get prepared for the World Cup in the United States, play with Miami. Busquets made sense. Jordi Alba, on the other hand, he recently in May signed a contract extension all the way till the end of 2027. So I was like, great. I think he's the second best attacking player, even though he's a left back for Miami. He still has his legs. He looked incredible. He has so many goals and assists with Messi, plays very well. Came out today and said he's retiring at the end of the season as well. Now there's some rumors floating around in Miami. They're going to pick up an old Tottenham player and replace him there.
Oh, Reguilon, yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Sergio Reguilon. So I think Miami will be fine. I'm surprised Suarez hasn't announced his retirement yet, but this is the kind of the last go for the brotherhood there of Barcelona to win MLS Cup.
Of the lot of them, I actually think Suarez's legs are in the worst shape from a watching perspective.
Yeah.
The pace isn't there anymore.
What I like this year about MLS is the stars are performing. Wilfred Zaha's been incredible for Charlotte. Son Heung-min's been amazing for LAFC. Thomas Mueller's been the perfect designated player for Vancouver. Messi, you don't even need to say anything. Top of everything. So the stars have been really performing, and the guys that have been brought over, even the ones that are at an older age, like Thomas Mueller, they've been the right DP, the right designated player.
Well, I think they came here with the intention of playing.
Yeah, this
Because
wasn't.
there was a crop before them that came here to just take the money.
Yeah, Andrea Pirlo, Frank Lampard. I mean, the list goes on.
Stevie G's
Yeah, I was
last
gonna
year
say
was bad.
Steven
Yeah, he was with
Gerrard,
the Galaxy, right?
Douglas Costa.
Yeah, there were some that it really didn't work out
Yeah,
in their favor.
yeah, and then every once in a while, MLS hits and they find a guy that's super marketable and shows like love of the league and of the team and performs well. One that comes to mind that I didn't think was going to work but worked out really well was Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, Rooney actually came here and played hard.
Yeah, and then there's other guys who played hard, but I don't know how well the team did. Like Schweinsteiger in Chicago.
Yeah, that was a bigger issue than just him.
Yeah, that's been the going.
There was really nothing around him, and they were in this stadium flux, and
Yeah.
it was an ugly time.
Well, now let's maybe go to commercial real quick,
Okay?
and then we maybe come back to the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah, it works for me. All right, we'll be back with more of the Corner Kick here on CWTAB.
Have you racked up over $15,000 in credit card debt? Do the collection calls ring nonstop? There's a solution to the situation the banks don't want you to know about. CuraDebt has over 20 years of experience and thousands of 5-star reviews. Call the CuraDebt Credit Solutions hotline today to see if you qualify. 877-835-0026. No obligation, 100% confidential. CuraDebt Credit Solutions. 877-835-0026. CuraDebt Credit Solutions now. 877-835-0026. 877-835-0026. Call today.
You're not bringing us. I gave you the look. Oh, my gosh. We're back here on the Corner Kick. Alex Fidrishevsky, Bobby Celentano. I like to defer to you when you're here, man.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I wasn't expecting to bring us back in, but I guess I should have because we were talking about Roman Celentano. If you didn't
I want to see your cousin on the national
yeah,
team.
He's not actually my cousin. Hopefully, one time I think I did reach out to him one time on like LinkedIn. Didn't hear back, so but as a fellow Celentano, I'd love to see one play for the U.S. men's national team and play in the World Cup. But I guess what we'll get started talking about is U.S. men's national team.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're into the October friendly window. Roster called in just a couple of days ago. The first game is coming up at the end of the week against Ecuador. Then we have Australia. Goalkeepers, Turner, Freeze, Schulte, and Chris Brady gets called in. JJ and I mentioned him.
Yeah, 0 caps so far with the U.S. men's national team. He's only 21 years old, plays for the Chicago Fire. I think the first time I saw of him, he was doing Goalie Wars, which is an MLS All-Star Challenge. But out of those 4, you see Matt Turner, 52 caps. Where do you feel comfortable with U.S. men's national team goalie going into the World Cup?
Nowhere.
If you had to rank them, who's number 1?
Oh, Freeze probably.
With no bias to Celentano.
I would say. Well, Celentano number 1. I would say Freeze 1. Horvath 2. Sheffield Wednesday's a hot mess, and we're going to talk about them later on in the show. But Horvath is starting in the championship.
That's impressive.
I think him, then probably Turner, and Schulte's probably the one after that. And there's nothing else.
Well, Horvath's, 30 years old? Yeah.
It's just about surviving the next year. And right now, I'm not impressed. Freeze probably has had the best year out of all the U.S. goalkeepers, though.
He definitely has. If he can continue that, make a good playoff run here with NYCFC and start the MLS season hot, I think you're right that he's the front runner. He's the one that has the most hype around him right now.
I think what we're starting to see is the thinning of the roster test. This is probably the last window that we're going to get that out of Pochettino. Tim Ream in the back line, Anthony Robinson. I think both of those guys are probably going to be locks. Ream's going to be 38 years old and go to the World Cup, but he's the glue guy.
Yeah.
You need one veteran in the back.
I would absolutely bring Tim Ream, even if he doesn't start, just from a.
You need that.
He's been there before, that sort of thing. He's been. And you're right. This is really the final test for some players. And I know recently U.S. men's national team fans have been getting upset of a lot of losses. And I try to remind myself, that's because Pochettino's been testing talent.
You're playing with a B team.
Yeah, he's been playing with the B team. And I can understand, there's guys that a year ago didn't even have the look, like Diego Luna.
He's to me, Luna's the only one that's actually proven he's ready to play at the next level and play at the World Cup. I'm not impressed with Max Arston.
Yeah.
And Freeman, he's 21. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt one more cycle, but I think he needs to get out of Orlando.
Do you see Cameron Carter-Vickers?
I am so happy that Vickers got called in finally because he has been very good
for
Celtic.
Well, the other thing with Celtic though is they run Scotland.
But he also plays in Champions League or Europa
true.
League, and he's been doing it consistently.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good call up for him. I want to see him. I think McKenzie's a guy who's going to make the squad now. He's asserted himself at Toulouse as a starter every single match. Richards, we know the deal. Richards is starting. He is a lock to start in the back as long as he's healthy.
He's probably the most underrated player on the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah, and didn't he also lead us in scoring at the Gold Cup?
I think
something like that.
I think Chris Richards is incredibly underrated.
Yes.
Starts for Crystal Palace, plays every game. He's looked solid for us at the for the U.S. men's national team. He's only 25 years old. He's an absolute lock and starter as long as he stays healthy.
Yeah, I think out of the crop that got called in, Anthony Robinson and him are locked up in the back.
Yeah.
The other two spots they're in limbo. The other two outside, the outside back spot and the second center back spot could be, in a little bit of limbo. They could slide Anthony Robinson in to give the speed to cover Richards. Saying Ream's probably going to be in the mix. He could be.
It could be Cameron Carter-Vickers, Tim Ream, Anthony Robinson, Chris Richards. That seems like the most, quote-unquote, what they say in gambling, chalky lineup I could give right now.
Yeah.
Unless some other guy.
I also don't think Miles Robinson's going to be there next summer. I think there are other players ahead of him, but at the same time, I also understand the idea, and JJ and I talked about this last week. There are certain players you don't need to bring them in every window right now because you don't want to put extra miles on the legs. And if they're performing for their club, you can get away with not having them here until you hit the spring.
Yeah. Christian Pulisic got a lot of flack for not playing in the Gold Cup, but I think that was the exact reason why.
Well, now look at what's happening with PSG now.
Yeah.
They had 12 days from the end of Club World Cup to the start of the season, and they're still playing at an elite level, but you could see there's some chinks in the armor in the league. Giving away result again at the weekend.
Yeah.
So
they're not like one of these Brazilian clubs that play 70 games a year like Botafogo.
Right, and they're used to this. We've already played 65. What's another 5?
Yeah, exactly.
We've played 2 games a week for the last 40 weeks.
Yeah, and they're just going up against some of the toughest competition on the planet. So I get that. The midfield, there's some question marks for sure. I know Gio Reyna is always talked about. I don't think he's at that point.
Gio Reyna is out for me right now. Gio Reyna cannot stay healthy, and he cannot get on the field.
Yeah.
I think Gio Reyna's next stop,
NYCFC.
It could be a retread and the end of his national team career.
Yeah.
That's crazy because he's 22?
22 it was insanely hyped and for good reason. He looked incredible.
But Gio, much like Claudio, can't stay healthy.
No.
And when he is healthy, he can be really good. But Gio,
He just got to Borussia Mönchengladbach, and he's already out. I check every game, see, who's playing overseas right now.
and he's hurt.
He's hurt, Then there's guys that are just killing it, like Haji Wright and Josh Sargent, and they're playing every week, starting every game, scoring goals, for the forwards. But for the midfield, I look at a guy like Malik Tillman.
He's played pretty well thus far, though, for Leverkusen.
He's played well, and no, I'm saying he's a lock.
Oh, absolutely. He was a lock before he made the move. Yeah.
I think Weston McKennie's a lock. Looking at this midfield,
Aaronson's probably in the
Brendan
squad.
Aaronson's been playing well.
I think Luna's making the World Cup team. He's going to be one of the last three guys.
Yeah.
24, 25,
He deserves
26.
it, too.
And Luna wants out. He's made it very clear that he wants to go to Europe. And I think the way that this is going to set up, it's the perfect scenario. Let him play in Salt Lake for 6 months, go to the World Cup, and after the World Cup, you make your move. Because if he makes the move in January, what if he doesn't win a starting spot? Then you're out.
Yeah.
So he's almost better off keeping this pace, close the season, play those first 12 games in MLS, go to the World Cup, and then move.
And he's going to have no problem finding a club that's gonna support him over there. And
He will be in high demand, and I think that Luna will have no problem finding a home in Europe. James Sands is in the squad, coming off
that was probably
injury.
the biggest surprise for this for this U.S. men's national team call-up.
Aiden Morris from Middlesbrough. He's gone over from Columbus and has played pretty well. And I think Tanner Tessman is playing his way into not just a role. He is making his case over the last 3 weeks to be a starter for the World Cup. Lyon.
Yeah,
He's
saw
scoring
when he got
bangers in Europe. Like he is doing it.
Well, I was surprised when they signed him. They put together one of the best in recent memory, like transfer signings. Leon put a great video up, and I was like, "Wow, Tanner Tessman's getting a lot of hype." And now we see why.
Yeah, Tessman has proven he could.
He just needs the
he could
minutes
do
for
it.
the U.S. men's national team.
But I think that they have to trust him now.
Yeah.
He's shown he's doing this in Europe. He's doing this in Ligue 1. And he's actually got an interesting story. Isn't he Dabo Sweeney's nephew or something like
Is he
that?
really?
Yeah, I think it was Dabo Sweeney, because he was supposed to go to Clemson
Really?
to
Okay.
kick. I think it was something. He's the godson of Dabo Sweeney.
Okay, I had no idea about that. But then now we look at the forwards for the U.S. men's national team, and individually you look at all these names.
It's 4 or 6 that are locks. Pulisic, Weah, Balogun, and right now Haji Wright is playing himself in possibly the starting role.
And there's Josh Sargent as well.
Sargent didn't get called into this one. I think this is this is another chance for Zendejas, who's been playing really well. I've always been high on Zendejas.
Playing a lot too.
And he's really at his peak right now for America. And Ajamong has proven me wrong. I said when he made this move, someone at Derby's going to get fired next summer. And Ajamong comes in his first game back from injury, plays about 80 minutes, gets an assist last week. So I think, well-deserved for him to be in this mix as well. And I like to see, we have another American in the championship who's producing.
Yeah, when you look at all these guys on a club level, they're all performing so well. Tim Weah scored for Marseille recently. We don't even need to talk about Pulisic. And then you see guys like Balogun that are playing for Monaco and starting a lot too. There's a lot of talent up front. It's just getting these players to mesh and look. Recently, when I've been watching the U.S. men's national team, I'm hoping October and the November games, like against Paraguay, prove me wrong. It seems like they don't gel sometimes.
I think it's hard when you're not playing with. Admittedly, you're not playing with your top 23.
Yeah.
And I think we found out over the course of this year there's not a lot of depth beyond that.
Yeah.
There's 30 guys between the group from Europe and then the 4 or 5 legitimate guys who have gotten some time in MLS. Not the goalkeepers, the 4 or 5 outfield players, because we don't really have a foreign option in
there's
net.
There's guys like Serginho Dest who, like,
well, it's a healthy
fringe.
A healthy Dest is in the World Cup.
Yeah.
And I think that's a
Joe
known.
Scally.
Scally, this one's the head scratcher for me because I think Joe Scally, unless, again, Poch knows, it's like, I'm taking him.
Yeah.
I don't need to see him. He's going.
Yeah.
Then you don't need to bring him in right now.
I also just love like that this is kind of where we're at with like American soccer and the U.S. men's national team is we even have this sort of depth to even talk about guys that are on the fringe because before it was like
There was no fringe.
You're really dipping down low.
Yeah, well, it's like, again, players who didn't get called in that probably have a legitimate, like, we're not, whether they're locks or legit, Adams, Johnny Cardozo, these are guys who they're there.
Yeah.
As long as they're healthy. So Potch right now, I think you're starting to see, okay, I'm bringing in 15 or 16 out of the 26 are here. We know there's 4 that we didn't bring in. And let's just assume and say it's Dest, Scally, Tyler, and Cardoso.
Yeah.
Is that 18, 19, 20? Because if you're counting the goalkeepers, he's looking for 6.
Yeah.
And somewhere out of Tessman, Morris, Sands, Luna, Arston, Freeman.
Luca De La Torre. There's
No way.
You don't think so?
Nope. Zendejas. Those guys will be, that crop will be the 6. Out of that 8,
What about Yunus
Musa is another one who probably, as long as he's there, Pepe, like those guys, it's those 8 or 9 guys for 6 spots.
Yeah.
For the U.S. It's kind of how it stands right now. Obviously, injuries, things like that could change it.
Yeah.
But where we're at right now, I think that's what we're looking at for the U.S. national team.
I'm looking forward to the November games.
There's going to be more.
Paraguay.
There's more bite in those. I think that's when you're going to get a feel for who the 26 are.
Ecuador will be a competitive game. Australia.
It's hard right now, though. You need teams that aren't playing.
Yeah.
And this isn't a bad side, though. They qualified directly.
Yeah.
So I think that it's a good game to pick up because your options are thinning out.
Are there really no games between November and the World Cup?
There'll be one window.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll get.
Just not announced yet.
It's just not announced yet. But I think Paraguay and Uruguay, we're gonna get the 26. Yeah. You're gonna know. You'll have. Maybe we won't. You're not gonna know for certain until all the injuries are done. But we'll have an idea that who the 26 are gonna be because it's gonna be, I think, all the big guns to end the year.
And I believe that we play Paraguay here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's down in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're playing that game, Subaru Park, and then they've got Uruguay in Tampa. Again, Australia qualified directly. They're in the same boat right now. They're trying to figure out. There's probably 15 of the 26, 27 guys they brought are probably set, and then there's 10 of them that are trying to make their case.
I'm looking forward to that game.
It'll be interesting, worth watching. The never-ending World Cup qualifiers. Should we do a little bit of that before we?
It wouldn't hurt to dive in for a minute. It's been going on for years now. I think it started in 2023.
Well, and remember, there is the 4th round of Asia, then the 5th round of Asia, because if you lose, you can continue playing now because we take everybody.
It's like the never-ending window of the U.S. Open Cup. It's just like always qualifiers are going on. Always something is going on in the background, even if you don't realize it. Oh, like Nigeria is going to be playing
I think it's one of the most
South Africa.
One of the most interesting stories, though, is right now Nigeria is on the outside looking in a group with Benin and South Africa. They're in third.
We need them in the World Cup. They always have the best World Cup jerseys.
They have had some problems for a couple of cycles now, though. Yeah. And they were really said this with JJ last week. Like they were really the first African nation to come on and be strong.
Yeah.
And right now, they're in a very precarious state with not a lot of wiggle room.
What about Ivory Coast? Have we seen where they fall with qualifying?
Ivory Coast has been assured a top 2 finish. They can still qualify directly with 2 to play.
Nice.
So Ivory Coast takes on
I always have love for that club.
The Seychelles and Kenya in their final 2, who are bottom of the group.
Yeah. Powerhouse of Africa.
The Seychelles are 0-8. 2 goals for, 39 allowed in 8 matches from minus 37 goal difference. And meanwhile, Gabon, who is in second, will take on Gambia and Burundi, who are in the middle of the group. Ivory Coast just needs to see this thing out, and I think they will cross the finish line. 2 to go. Algeria in position to qualify for the World Cup. Tunisia is in. And then you have a host of teams playing for this next set of never-ending playoffs. Ghana, slight lead over Madagascar with a couple to play.
I always need to brush up on my geography. Like I just said, Cote d'Ivoire. I can name the players that have played there.
Can you find the Ivory Coast on a map?
No. Is it in Africa, or am I just
Well,
completely...
it is in Africa. They play in the African World Cup qualifying. I would hope they're on the African continent.
I can name all the players that used to play there. They do Doumbia, Gervinho, Drogba, Yaya, and Kolo Touré. Like, they've had amazing players over the years, but if you told me to find Ivory Coast on a map, I'm ignorant. I don't know where. I couldn't name Czech Republic on a map. I'm terrible with geography.
You couldn't find the Czech Republic on a map?
No.
It's close to Poland. Can you find Poland on a map? How about Germany?
Well, let's not go down this topic.
Could you find the United Kingdom on a map?
We might need to pull up a map on this.
We're going to
How
about this? You're Italian. Can you find Italy?
I would hope so.
I would hope so.
I would hope so.
Can you
Although
find
I've never been.
Can you find Montenegro?
Oh, that's a real small nation.
A Balkan country.
Yeah, that's like it's like I didn't realize. Now we're getting on geography topic. Not
We
to
can- we
get
can-
too off track.
we can
I didn't
talk
realize
geography.
How small Monaco is. There's like 30,000 people that live there.
Monaco is the size of X-Golf.
Yeah.
But it is also one of the wealthiest nations in the world. Please let me in.
Yeah. Well, you see how he started the show.
The principality.
Super local. If this is what Alex does, is he expands to now we're talking about.
Should we talk about the
Zambia?
You want to talk about the national team of Vanuatu?
I don't even know where that is.
It's in Oceania.
Yeah. No.
It's an island in the South Pacific.
Yeah, this show, I always have felt like since, I think the first time I made an appearance on this show was 2016. It's always gone from like soccer to now we're talking about Jersey. And I don't mean New Jersey. I
The
mean
island of Jersey.
The island.
Yes.
Who do have a soccer club.
They do have a soccer club. Speaking of Oceania, do you know who is still eligible to make the World Cup out of there?
Are you going to say New Zealand?
No, they've already
Oh,
qualified.
okay, good.
It's New Caledonia. They can advance through the playoff. The island of New Caledonia. So if you are a fan of McHale's Navy from the 1950s, I think it was 60s. It was either late 50s or early 60s. McHale's Navy, they always went for furlough
Just a wealth
to
of
New
information.
Caledonia. That was always the place. They always went and got in trouble.
I'm always amazed.
And Commander Binghamton would come look for them.
Yeah, Alex is he's too bashful to draw attention to himself and too humble. But for the past 10 years that I've known him plus, we could be driving around anywhere and he'll know exactly where we are, whether that be in PA or New Jersey, et cetera, et cetera. But then he has this wealth of knowledge about countries and little cities that I've never even heard of or know existed, and then he'll know the soccer teams from those countries and be like, oh yeah, did you watch the game that was on last night in Tunisia? And I'm always like, no, I didn't even know they had a soccer league over
You know, you don't watch the Uzbek League on YouTube. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, he's like, oh, did you watch the latest Czech game? I'm like, no, I did not. That's where I kind of draw a line.
This is where I go.
Yeah, and those types of games, honestly, tuning in, I love finding games like that.
Lithuania's on YouTube.
But yeah,
You want to watch some small crowds? Belarus is on
wow.
YouTube.
Well, yeah, we need to make some relations with some of these smaller clubs and show that there's people here that love them, like you.
Me.
Yeah.
I'm probably the only person. I'm the only person that knows they exist. Let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to hit the continent.
Okay.
We'll be back on Quarter Cake.
We at Lifeline Screening have screened over 9 million people over 25 years. We identify your risk of stroke, cardiovascular disease, and other chronic illnesses. We use state-of-the-art ultrasound technology to look into your arteries to identify your plaque levels. During your screening, we examine the carotid arteries in the neck for plaque buildup that can lead to a stroke. We check your abdominal aorta for an aneurysm, a ballooning of this large artery in your belly which can rupture if it gets too big. We evaluate the pressures in your arms and ankles and calculate what is called an ankle brachial index. This is an indirect way to assess the flow in the arteries of legs and identify risks for more cardiovascular disease. We scan your shin bone to determine the density of the bone and derive risk for osteoporosis. And lastly, atrial fibrillation. If we detect anything that requires urgent attention, we will notify you immediately so you can contact your physician for follow-up. Screenings are simple, non-invasive, painless, and we have convenient locations throughout the United States. And of course, screenings provide peace of mind or early detection. Schedule your screening today.
And we are back. Corner Kick, CWTAP TV. I'm Bobby Celentano, joined by Alex Fidrzeszewski. We're here in Easton, Pennsylvania, where I live, and we're here with the wonderful folks of X Golf.
Love X Golf.
No, I love it here. And what I've noticed, when we're doing the show here, seeing all the patrons that come in with their families and here to have a nice. I mean, you can't golf right now at 8 p.m. outside. You can't do that, but you can come to X Golf, play golf with the family, have something to eat, watch all these different sports games that are going on. So there's a lot to do here.
It's always 72 and sunny.
It is always 72 and sunny in here. And, if we were filming this show outside right now at a golf course, it'd be pitch black.
You wouldn't be seeing us right now.
No, but we have the Tigers game on right now, which I'm rooting for Detroit.
Why don't we have soccer on above us?
Yeah, we should get some game. There's got to be some game going on right now.
They have like YouTube TV. There's got to be some game somewhere.
Maybe one of these days we'll have it playing on the big screen behind us. There's a lot of these screens. I think is there 9?
I believe there is 1, 2. I think there's 7.
7
simulators in here, and you can play a wide variety of courses and training ranges. And behind us, we've got Old St. Andrews.
Yeah.
And it is so realistic, ladies and gentlemen, that if you're like me and Matt Baker, you can hit the ball off a building and you can play it from the alleyway.
Yeah, when I got here today, he's like, let me show you something. And I've seen Alex golf before. I know he can hit the ball straight, and I noticed he hit it purposefully to the side of the course, and it ended up on a building. And he goes, we can play it from there too. Go grab me an iron. And I was just
I was ready to swing from the rooftops.
The realism there.
Who needs a drop? I don't need a mulligan on that.
Yeah, you go to St. Andrews and you want to play on some of the old houses that are next to the course.
I don't know if the fine folks living on St. Andrews would be happy if I wanted to play a drive out of their living room window, but
you could do it here at X Golf.
Yes, without any penalty. You won't break anyone's windows here.
Right here in Easton, PA. So a lot is going on in Easton. Like I mentioned earlier, we just had Latin Fest, and we just had a Garlic Fest. We have Bacon Fest coming up, and CWTP is going to be at all those events, and always nice to connect with the community. But now we're going to hop over to we started the show with very local talk in Lafayette, Lehigh, Murray. We expanded it a little bit. Started talking about the New York Red Bulls, Philadelphia Union, and then MLS. Then we started talking about the nation and the U.S. men's national team and the World Cup. And we just signed off from the last segment talking about Ivory Coast and the Asian qualifiers for the World Cup. So I think it's only appropriate now we head to Europe.
Yeah, this is where we get into kind of the meat of the show now, and we go through some of the news and the notes as we kind of work in reverse this week.
Yeah.
The Milan City Council has approved the sale of San Siro to AC and Inter. The vote was passed 24-20 on Tuesday morning after a 12-hour overnight debate. It was at 3 a.m.
Wow. Do they do filibusters over there?
Apparently they must have. Oh, my gosh. So the teams plan to collectively tear down the historic 99-year-old San Siro and build a new 71,000-seat arena. The stadium and the area have been valued at $233 million U.S., according to the Italian tax agency. The sale has to be finalized before November 10.
Wow.
That's when the second tier, which becomes 70 years completed, the upper deck, takes a historical stance in Italy, and it would basically make the stadium impossible to tear down.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the most respected grounds in all of world football. I'm an AC Milan fan. Shout out to the Rossoneri. I've never been able to go to Italy yet in my 30 years of existence on this earth.
It will happen.
Yeah, I would love to go over there, and whether it's in the current San Siro or the future one, I'm happy it's in the hands of the clubs.
Yeah, and I understand there's a tradition to this stadium.
Yeah.
And to, moments that have happened in it.
If you can tear down Yankee Stadium and build a new one and call it Yankee Stadium, we can do it in the San Siro.
Exactly. And I think you eventually reach a point where you can only renovate so much according to today's building world. We didn't build this stadium from bricks that are going to last forever, like these castles in Europe, or the Great Wall of China, or any of that. These stadiums are built from structural steel, which eventually starts to give way with plastic piping that eventually starts to leak.
Yeah.
And not this hunking steel piping that we used to use, or cast iron,
So they tear it down just like they did the Phillipsburg Mall.
What's going in the Phillipsburg Mall place?
It's demolished.
Is anything going there? Do we know what's going there?
I believe there's talks of a warehouse or apartment buildings currently. And I bet you've never seen a show talk about the San Siro then relate to the Phillipsburg Mall, but we can do that because we're a local television.
This is what we
network,
do
and
here.
We bring it back to the
I don't know whether.
locals.
Yeah, should we talk about the benefits of the warehouse versus the? No, we won't do that here.
Maybe
Do you want a warehouse or apartments, folks? Opine right now.
But
we can't actually hear what you're saying at home, folks. But
no. Maybe one of these we'll have a live show where we can have viewers call in like the old days where Agnes calls in and we can talk to her.
I miss Agnes.
Yeah,
she was
good
great.
people. Good people.
So they're saying again, this is a $1.5 billion US deal that will
Is that all?
build. Yeah, that's it. Chump change. Offices, shopping mall, luxury hotels, and then a new stadium.
Honestly, I thought it would be more. I know 1.5 billion is an insane amount of money, but by today's standards, it feels like every new stadium that goes up is $1 billion, and one of the most historic.
It's only $1 billion here.
Yeah.
This is the whole complex is going to be $1 billion.
Yeah.
That's
Lot of
only
money.
construction costs in the United
And
States.
speaking about the clubs themselves, I mean, AC Milan off to a hot start.
Yes, they are.
I believe last I checked, they were in first place in Serie A. Modric has been leading the team at 40 years old and really brought life back to Milan.
Yeah, what is this with Luka Modric?
No Champions League, no Europa League, but he said when he came here he wants to make the Rossoneri back to what it once was in this prominent club. And so far, so good. They just played Napoli, and they played well.
So them and Inter both, currently in the top four, in the European positions, very, very squarely. You know who's struggling in Italy? Fiorentina this year.
Yeah.
Just 3 points from 6.
Cremonese, last time I was on the show, we were off to a hot start. They've started slipping and kind of regressed to what you would expect them.
But I think Cremonese, Como, and Sassuolo have already taken major steps towards safety.
Yeah.
Because
Vardy.
I think we know for Cremonese, Sassuolo, Como, it's not about Europe. It's about staying
in Serie
A. And they have done themselves a favor in their first few matches. Pisa and Genoa, not off to good starts. And then when you look at Fiorentina struggling, that's now ground they need to make up.
Yeah.
And now I don't think Fiorentina's going to end up relegated.
No.
It's a long season, but it now means somebody else is going to be in the mix, because if this trend continues, Como, Cremonese, they're going to hang around.
Yeah. Well, what I appreciate about recent Serie A is it's actually like competitive again. Like this year, I feel like it's anyone's game. Like years past, it was Juventus for over a decade just dominating, and it's like, oh, okay, like, yeah, we know they're going to win. We know they're topping Serie A. But this year is really competitive, and AC Milan looked really good.
Yeah, the variety is definitely a benefit.
Yeah.
It's part of my boredom with the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
JJ texts me the opening kick of every season. Bayern have won the title, and he did this year. I got the text. Bayern have won the title.
Wow. Have you ever been to Germany?
I have.
Oh.
I have been to Germany 4 times.
My brother's going in a couple weeks here, and I'll have to ask you offline or off camera where spots to go in Germany.
I wouldn't even be able to tell you at this point. The last time I was there was 10 years ago.
Okay, so yeah, landscape's a little bit
different.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoyed Munich.
Yeah.
Munich was a good city. Frankfurt, take or leave it.
And then
Berlin was okay. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm in Berlin.
you go Stuttgart?
Never been to Stuttgart, no. But Munich, I enjoyed Bavaria. Bavaria is that was my favorite region that I went to when I was in Germany.
Meine Deutsch ist nicht sehr gut.
No? Kleine Deutsch? Ich spreche kleine Deutsch?
Ja.
Yeah. Did you take German in high school?
I did.
He did.
2 years.
He is now CWTAP's favorite son.
I took 3 years of German, 1 year in middle school, 2 years of high school, so it's been a couple years since.
Everybody in the Birdsboro system loves you now. Berks County's favorite son is now Bobby Celentano.
Yeah, there's
Prost.
I mean, now you got me thinking if there's any good local German spots to eat in the valley. That's really probably going to test your
Dunderbox
knowledge.
is for
You
sale.
see what I mean? Like, he can pull out.
Dunderbox in the Lehigh Valley Mall. The bakers, I believe, are closing
he
if
can
they
pull
can't
out
find an
any
owner.
Information you ask him about the Lehigh Valley
Yeah.
or Pennsylvania in general.
Yeah, Dunderbox is still there in the Valley, Lehigh Valley Mall for a little bit. Carlamer Quality Meats also
I'm always amazed
closing.
by your knowledge.
Leo is retiring.
Wow.
After, I believe it's about 50 years.
We gotta have a food show on CWTAP, and you just go try different places of food or recommendations. Where's the best pizza place in the Lehigh Valley? All those types of things.
Stoke Coal Fire Pizza.
Wow.
I have an opinion. Best pizza in the Valley.
He knows his stuff.
Great wings, too. Have you ever had the wings at Stoke?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
We're in Easton.
young man, we're going there after the show.
Ooh-wee. But sorry, I can just divert us off topic. I know
And I can
we're
stay
still-
off topic.
We're still mentally in Europe, but I like to bring it back local every 10 minutes just to throw us off track.
Sure, we can talk about where you can get the best halushki in Pennsylvania next.
Yeah.
Cabbage and noodles, baby. La Liga and Serie A, while we're on the Serie A topic,
Yeah.
this one's controversial. We are now carrying league matches outside of the
I
nations.
saw that.
Villarreal is losing a home gate with Barcelona to go to Florida
Miami?
for a Barcelona home game in Miami. That's basically what this
a La
is.
Liga game.
Yes, a league match that is outside of their country, and AC Milan is taking a trip to Perth, Australia,
Wow.
to play a Serie A league match.
We are seeing this, like, the NFL has been doing that to get into other markets. We saw it this year. They went to Dublin. They go to Mexico. They go to Brazil. Now we're starting to see that is basically what you're saying with European competition.
And I hate it. I despise it with a passion.
It's pretty unfair, too.
This is a league match in a league that is set up for a home and home. You play each team twice in your division. You get them at your place, you go to their place.
Yeah.
Now you have just robbed Villarreal, who is a European contender. This is not some scrub team that we've pulled off here and said you're not getting your home game. This is a Champions League contender.
Yeah.
This is a team that makes it to the Europa League, to Champions League on a very regular basis, that you have now just denied their fans a home match, and not just any home match. You have denied them the biggest home match of the season.
That is a huge one, too. Barca Villarreal.
And
If you're a season ticket
you
holder,
have now given Barcelona it is a neutral site. You are giving Barcelona another home game against a Champions League side. They both have to fly. Malarkey. There are going to be 68,000 Barcelona jerseys
it would have been more
in
fair
that
to play
stadium.
Real Madrid, honestly.
I don't even want that game out of Spain.
Well, no, I agree with you. It stinks that they're playing outside of Spain, but if you go to Miami, there's going to be way more Barcelona jerseys than Villarreal. Whereas if you play Real Madrid, it could be a 50-50 split.
It's more viable that it will be a split. But and this whole AC Milan Serie A going to Australia for a season match, this is out of control.
That's
Because then you're going to have to turn that flight around.
Yeah, and
This could be a season-wrecking moment.
for some clubs, yeah.
Yes.
And it's hard to blame the players. You're on a plane for that long, dealing with jet lag, playing the game, and then that's just supposed to be a regular season game. Yeah, that's real tough.
And the big debate that's going on right now is you have the owners are saying, well, you players want more money, so we have to do these kind of crazy things to give you the money. And the players are going, no. The reason we want the money is because you're doing stupid things like this.
Yeah.
And sending us to play a league match halfway around the world.
Is there any benefit? Like, I know, like, for example,
None.
In the NFL.
Financial. It's financial. Financial is the benefit. What is the benefit to the NFL to go play a game at Wembley? Money.
It was like the teams. I think I saw with the NFL. Maybe it was like the Vikings or someone. They accepted playing a second game out of the States to get, I guess, Super Bowl home rights or something like that. Like, for the future, they'd be considered higher sort of thing. I don't know. It's pretty out there, and I can see why players are upset at owners.
I don't like it in any sport.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that NFL fans who pay exorbitant, absolutely asinine, exorbitant fees for seat licenses, parking, tickets themselves, and then you pay for this seat license, but in half of these teams now, you can't give it to your kids when you die now. It's over.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. And I know they've added an extra game, so every other year somebody goes abroad. These people are paying astronomical fees. They should be able to watch their team in their market and not have to worry about, is this a year that we have to, or if we have a season ticket, do we have to go to?
Well, imagine being like a Villarreal fan, and
I would be fuming.
You're like, I can't wait to play Barcelona. We have that home game, and it's in Miami. Well, we either spend $10,000 taking the whole family out to Miami to go watch this game, and then pay more for the tickets that we already bought for season tickets.
Or we miss it.
Or we miss it and watch.
Imagine being a lower bowl season ticket holder at Villarreal. Imagine being a front row season ticket holder at Villarreal and saying, my first call if I was a season ticket holder at Villarreal would be to call the club and say, what are you doing for me? I have season tickets. I am in the front row.
Yeah.
Are you putting me in the front row in Miami?
Yeah.
The answer is no.
No.
No, they are going to put Lionel Messi and his entourage and a bunch of high-wheeling business people will be in the front row down there.
Yeah.
And you have, again, the quest of never-ending finance and margin sheets that has taken over and created a toxic form of this sport that so many love is why I think more and more you're seeing in Europe, there are a lot of fans who are now shunning these big clubs and going, you know what? I'm done with you. I'm going non-league. I'm going to go watch my local pub team.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to go play a game 6 countries away. And I think it's bad. I get it. Money drives the whole thing. But for me,
it's only a matter of time you see.
When does it become every
week?
week?
You see Manchester United versus Manchester City come to the States, and they play at Yankee Stadium.
And I don't want that.
And it's a league game. It's only a matter of time.
I want Manchester United, Manchester City to be played at Old Trafford and Stadium of Light. I don't want them played at.
It's only a matter of time with this trajectory that you're going to see the EPL dip in, and they go, you know what? One game of the season, we're going to have them go to America because we're trying to grow the game there, and we know there's a lot of fans, and we're going to take it.
We know there's a lot of money there.
A lot of sponsorship dollars to be
That's
had.
what drives the whole thing.
You get the American businesses to then invest, and I mean,
this is step one of implementing and testing out what they floated several years ago, the idea of this global super league.
Yeah.
Where it was,
I remember that.
They were floating the idea of having it was 18 or 20 teams all over the world, and it was going to be like New York, LA, Tokyo, Shanghai, all London, all the major cities, and they were floating the idea of having a global super league. This is the start of the test to see if can the players' bodies hold up back and forth.
Pretty recently, too.
It wasn't that long ago.
Wasn't it
no,
like Juventus was like one of the clubs that was involved.
Oh, they wanted to do the European Super League.
That's what I'm thinking of.
And there was this float about, we could have a team from Barcelona play a team from Tokyo.
Well,
and every week you're going to make those flights all over the world?
Yeah, I mean, I don't the schedule is so congested in the world of soccer already.
This would how do you even who governs it?
Yeah.
It's not under UEFA because it's not.
The Club World Cup. Just stick with that.
I hate that as it is too.
Yeah, I know. But although I saw a lot of chatter online on a lot of the forums, fans actually were pretty impressed, and I think it's because you saw teams from like South America beat some European clubs, and it was like, you know what? They're always saying Europe's the best, but when you see Botafogo and Atletico Mineiro win,
I just see no purpose to the tournament, and all you're doing is putting extra miles on players' legs that you don't need to be doing.
Oh, you don't like that Chelsea now has on their kit for the next 3 years Club World Cup winners? You haven't seen that gold thing that looks atrocious?
I don't really care what's on the kit. I think the tournament itself.
Well, they won the tournament. Now they have this thing on their kit permanently.
And the expanded tournament, and then now they're talking 64 for World Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, why not just let everybody play? And the first round will be in the group stage, and it'll be Brazil against American Samoa, and it can be 90-0. But they qualified. You know, it's 64. JJ and I even talked about this. And how do you even get there?
Yeah. Oh,
Are you talking all 10 out of South America now make it? Do 26 out of 52 in Europe make it to get you halfway home? And then now you're talking...
Qualifying already takes 3 years. Why don't we just make it...
Well, that's what are you going to do? I mean, how do you... What is it? You change the whole format for the whole world again?
Yeah.
And be like...
All for more...
Uh-huh.
It's a very big business that I think sometimes we forget about.
Well, it is. And I think this is where, again, you now see this split. And when I get to my club of the week, you'll see why.
I'm excited because we didn't tell each other our club of the week yet. But let's bring it to...
England?
Exactly. Let's bring it to the EPL.
So...
And we can say it now. Arsenal's in first place.
Arsenal are in first place. 2-0 home win over West Ham. But once again, Martin Odegaard had to be replaced. Third consecutive match that he's been replaced before halftime. Something's not right there.
It's such a shame, too. Martin Odegaard had a rough season last year, and this was supposed to be his bounce-back season. But now on injury again, it's not looking great. He was incredible for Real Sociedad and incredible for Norway and incredible for Arsenal. And last year he took a dip in performance, and he's now struggling to get and stay on the field in 2025.
Yeah, I think. How do you get him back to fitness? He's another one who very similar, kind of like Gio Reyna.
Yeah.
He's kind of like Gio Reyna.
Well, he's played a lot more than Gio Reyna.
He has. I'll give him that. But right now, this is not a good run for him. I think they need to shut him down.
He's got to take some type of break, if he wants to stay healthy. Actually, we didn't even check if Norway qualified for the World Cup.
Europe's too early on in this whole process.
I see.
Norway's in the driver's seat, though.
Yeah, when you have Holland up top, anything's possible.
Now, aren't they first place in the group with Italy?
Yeah, last I checked.
So...
but yeah, he hasn't stayed healthy, and that's a struggle when Arsenal's in first place. They were in second last year, second the year before. They're trying to finally get that title under their hands again.
They're in the race now.
And
Liverpool
so
blinked twice, and now Arsenal is in the race.
Eze's look good. I mean, Arsenal's been playing well. So I'm surprised to see Man City in fifth currently. We're only 7 matches played into the season, but I thought Liverpool was going to run away with it this year, and now they're on 2 losses back-to-back.
2 weeks ago, JJ and I were sitting here saying, could it be done by Christmas? And now we've got everything we want for the rest of the season. Can City chase these guys down now? Who will slip? Will Liverpool lose 3 in a row?
Yeah. There's some surprises. Bournemouth in 4th.
Bournemouth has been a long time coming. This is a club that has mastered how to stay in the Premier League. They go and they sign 3 or 4 guys from the relegated clubs every year, fill the holes, keep going. Could this be the year that Bournemouth makes Europe? But what they have to be careful, though, with the lack of depth.
Yeah.
Bournemouth makes Champions League. Bournemouth could be facing the wooden spoon of the Premier League next year if that happens. So there's a balancing act here for them.
Didn't their stadium, when they first joined the Prem a couple years ago, didn't it seat like 10,000?
Yeah, it's not that much. I don't think it's much bigger.
Yeah,
I think it's like 10 or 12,000.
Yeah, it's like the smallest EPL stadium of all time. Or
Yeah,
something.
I believe it is the smallest Premier League stadium.
Shout out to Tyler Adams.
Yeah, well, there you go. There's another American performing at the highest level, and look where they're sitting right now.
Fourth above Man City. I know we're only 7 matches played, but you're above Man City.
Said this to JJ. Is Pep losing the magic?
I don't know what's going on.
Something's
over there
not
in
right there.
Manchester City. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they did bounce back their past couple games with back-to-back wins, picking up 3 points on each of them. But that's tough. And we're seeing Crystal Palace inch a little bit higher. Chelsea's been having a rough spell. Man, I don't know. What does Chelsea need to do to get back on track?
Chelsea got the big win they needed, though.
Yeah. That's what helped.
And you have to remember, Chelsea is also going through the same off period that PSG had.
Yeah.
They went all the way through that stupid tournament.
Club World Cup, they won it, yeah.
And got 10 days off. They had to go right back into training.
Yeah, and they had a rough spell, a draw, and then back-to-back losses. But they beat Liverpool. Was that the big game that I think I watched Sunday morning?
And here's the question: what's going on with Mo Salah?
Oh,
I saw on Galazzo. Is he wearing out his welcome a little bit? Maybe. I mean, the Chelsea winner. You could see he's not tracking back defensively. It's all hands on deck when it's that late in the match. And this guy, he pulls out of his chase. If he comes all the way back, when they cut the ball back to cross it, he's there.
Yeah.
That's the spot he should have been in. And he's not there. Go a match previous in the midweek, right? He has Isak, the 150 million pound man. He's open. And Salah selfishly takes a shot. Something's not right there.
I don't know what's going on there, but that's why they're sitting now second and Arsenal's above them.
It's created all this speculation.
Yeah, and him and Van Dijk have been the face of Liverpool for the past half a decade?
Yeah. Also worth noting, Manchester City, and this is a good news bit. I thought it was really interesting. Pep Guardiola was praising Phil Foden for being open about the mental health issues which troubled him last season, and he said he had a lot going on in May, off the pitch, and said there's, sometimes there's bigger things in life than football. Guardiola said this year, as Foden's really played better, he said, quote, how strong he is admitting it. A figure like Phil can be open-minded and speak to all of society. Today, the young teenagers and even older people struggle with that. Nobody is away from that, and everyone could be that. To accept the reality, wow. That's why when I see him now and forget about the level he is performing, which is the top level, how he's been, the joy in training session, his laugh, and his voice in the locker room being back, it's enough. So he's... Clearly, even Pep has said, it's good that Foden came out and said, listen, I went through a pretty rough patch in my life, guys. Yeah. And, he's been the spark.
Yeah, sometimes we forget when we're watching these professional athletes that they're completely human too, and you have to have this mental fortitude to play at the highest level, and it takes a real toll on the players. We see it in every sport, and I know from my personal life, and I'm sure you could attest to it too. If we're not mentally sound, everything else falls.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
You could be in the best physical shape of your life, but if your mental's not there, you're not going to have the best workouts. You're not going to perform well. The two go hand in hand. So for a big player like Foden to speak about it and then have the backing of his coach and his club, I think is a new step forward.
Yeah, I love to see it. And I think we need to see more of it. For too long, we've kind of stigmatized that in society. I think it's important to face that. And it's okay to say, hey, I need to talk to somebody. Yeah. And to have a guy like Foden come out and be like, no, listen, I needed some help.
Yeah.
And he's a big, big name in England. And I think you see in England, in the culture there, it's really like repress your emotion kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And for him to come out and say that, there's going to be a mixed bag of response in England. But I think for younger generations, it's going to be good because
They can relate.
they can relate. Yeah.
Yeah, this hits home with anyone that's had any mental health struggles, and I think it's going to make a big impact in England with, like you said, their youth. So, wow, my favorite player is dealing with something that I deal with.
Yeah.
You know,
they're still human.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think for footballers in England, the pressure that is on them, it dwarfs the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, at the end of the day, these guys
Your
in the
nation
NFL
is on your back.
The NFL guys, there's pressure, and I get it. And if they put on talk radio, same with baseball. I mean, you grew up within an earshot of WFAN in New York.
Yeah.
If we were growing up and you put it on, and Mike and the Mad Dog or whoever, they were talking in the afternoon.
Alex Rodriguez.
These callers, these callers, I mean, they're nuts.
Yeah, they berate the players as if they're not human.
Yeah.
And we forget that they're just playing a sport for our enjoyment.
And I think it goes for all of us, though. Even as media members, we've all done it.
Yeah.
We've been like, this guy's playing like garbage right now. This needs to step up.
Probably did it in this show.
Probably did in this show. Yeah. And at the end of the day, we all forget that, they are just humans. And I think, part of that too is also to recognize, like, listen, if there's people at home could be like, these guys are doing a terrible job this week. It was better the first time they were together. But that's all right.
Yeah.
But, again, good for Foden for coming forward. And I think it's good for the change of society that they need there. And again, footballers in Europe and in England specifically, just you can't escape it.
No.
There is no off button
It
in
doesn't
Europe.
help when it's gray every day outside.
Probably not. No, I think the gray clouds definitely makes it worse.
Yeah.
I feel like if I was playing...
I'm joking, but I'm also kind of serious.
I'm kind of serious at the same time. Like,
it's a little dreary over there.
I mean, I don't know about you. This is, personal fact about Alex. When it's cloudy, it affects me. Like, I am definitely not as happy as like I've been the last week and a half.
Yeah.
Where there hasn't been a cloud in the sky. I've been waking up in the morning. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
And
when I was driving the other day and it was really nice, I was like, I kind of feel like I'm in like a good mood. And then, today's been like grayish and rainy, and tomorrow's supposed to rain.
most of the day I was all right today. I feel like the morning I was good.
Yeah.
And then I saw the clouds rolling. I'm like, let's see if it's if it's one day I'll make it.
Yeah.
I think
that's it every day in England.
That's the worst. Like, for me is winter. Like, I don't like winter.
Yeah.
Like, it's an energy suck.
Oh, absolutely.
For
Especially
sure.
when it's pitch black out. I mean,
4 o'clock, yeah.
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 For a lot of people on the East Coast, you go to work in the morning and it's dark, and then you get out of work and it's dark.
Yeah.
There's something that,
So the goal here is to spend the summers up here.
Yeah.
And then for winter, you flip to the southern hemisphere.
To Miami.
No, that's in the northern hemisphere. It gets dark.
As far south as you can go in the States.
Yeah, but you go to like Argentina.
Oh yeah.
You go visit my family.
So
it's still so it's always sunny all year round.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. I was talking to someone recently at one of these run clubs,
Okay.
and they were from Ecuador. And I asked them if they watched Barcelona, the Ecuadorian Barcelona, and they go, yeah. And I go, do you know Fidrishevsky? And they lit up. They're like, how in the world did this kid know Fidrishevsky from the Barcelona? And I go, yeah, that's...
I got a guy who knows a guy who's in his family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. So, yeah, I always forget that.
Last topic I want to touch on, Sheffield Wednesday.
Whew.
Their championship match against Coventry was halted at the weekend over fans running on the pitch.
Is that all?
To protest Depon Chansiri, the owner.
Ooh.
I mean, they also lost 5-0.
And what are they protesting?
Chansiri's ownership of the club.
They're just unhappy.
The supporters and local MPs are demanding that he sell the club. I mean, they're in big trouble. Embargoes for tax debts, late payments to players and staff, money owed to rival clubs for transfers they haven't paid. Even Lampard said, quote, I very much sympathize with them. I think they're doing great in the way they're carrying themselves, and even the fans come on the pitch, in my opinion. I think It's understandable, and they came off the pitch quickly. I want to say that because this is a great club. Usually you'll get them say, no, I really don't think it's good that the fans are coming on the pitch. It endangers the players, which it does. But they've hit critical mass at Sheffield Wednesday where this club could go out of business if this guy doesn't sell.
And this is where
and this isn't a broke
investor comes in and buys the club.
This isn't a broke man. His family owns the largest tuna packing company in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
They have money. But, again, what do you do? It's ripe for the taking. Will he sell? Or do you end up like Bury, where they have to reform and dig out from the ashes?
Yeah, or you have Patrick Mahomes come in and buy the club.
Well, that's what you're looking at. Is there an American out there who wants to get into this thing? It's an English club with a rich history, and they're in the championship. You might buy them and go down.
Yeah.
But you might need to go down.
That's where you see like a LeBron James come in and they buy the club.
That's it. You get an athlete and a businessman together.
Yeah.
Who come in. The businessman's got the $2 billion. Mm-hmm. The athlete's got the marketing clout.
Yeah.
It's like the Wrexham guys have figured out now.
Yeah. Or Tom Brady with.
And the next move, the Wrexham guys need the billionaire.
Yeah.
You can go conference to championship. You need the guy worth $2 billion to get into the Premier League.
Yeah.
And for Sheffield Wednesday, again, like I said, maybe you need to go down to right size the club to come back better.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel for their fans. That's just, it's an ownership issue.
So as we approach the end of the show here, we got about 10 minutes left. Club of the week.
Yeah. Start us off.
Okay, so my club of the week, this ties into, how I talked about, I think fans, not all, but there will be fans who start to get frustrated. And as this thing goes into, Manchester City's now going to play 4 games abroad. Bayern Munich's going to play 3 games abroad. They're going to Chicago. They're going to Toronto. And we're going to send them to wherever. Fans will start to say, enough of this big club. I'm going to go find a neighborhood side. Which is exactly what happened in 2005 with my club of the week, FC United of Manchester.
Oh, boy. This is reminding me of, I think it was called FC New York.
FC United of Manchester were founded in 2005 after the Glazer family took over Manchester United, the Premier League gigantic club, by disgruntled supporters. Initial meetings took place at the Central Methodist Hall in northern Manchester, as well as the Apollo Theater, to form the club. Carl Marginson was the first manager, and 900 players applied for the initial roster tryout. They invited 200 and picked 17.
Wow.
The initial members meeting was held July 5th, 2005. This is right after the takeover. The Constitution, the badge, the principles were laid out. The first board was elected. By the next night, July 6th, over 4,000 fans disgruntled with Man U pledged money to support FC United of Manchester, and they had raised over 100,000 pounds into their bank account in one day. They've played in the non-league for the entirety of their existence, including a couple of years in the National League North. They currently play in the Northern Premier League. Not the Premier League, the Northern Premier League.
Yeah, I was going to say.
The colors of the club are red, white, and black, the same colors as Manchester United. They carry no sponsorship logo on the shirt. They've left money on the table, but it was in the club constitution that they would not wear a sponsor across their chest, and they believe Manchester United had sold out by doing that.
Wow.
They built their current stadium, the Broadhurst Park, at a cost of £6.3 million. Opened in 2015, seated sections along with some standing room, a clubhouse with pub and catering, 4,000 capacity. They share the ground with local youth side Moston Juniors. The club is a community benefit society, a nonprofit organization with 2,000 members who currently have voting rights. Their constitution commits them to the local community, and they strive to keep ticket prices affordable for the community through sponsorship and involve youth as much as possible. FC United of Manchester, 3 league titles and 2 cups in the non-league in their history. They haven't been around that long, so there's not necessarily a ton of statistic available for this non-league side. I always like to normally tell people about the main appearance leader, especially in England, because you can usually find out what the guy is up to or what he did after football. Not for this club right now, maybe a little too young in their existence, but FC United of Manchester, founded out of protest of the Glazers buying Man United.
Yeah, that's one that I've literally never heard of, and that's why we do this segment, to try to bring clubs to the attention of the public that I mean, this reminds me, I think there was a club that was called FC New York years and years ago. I have to double check myself.
But they weren't formed out of a protest.
Yeah.
They were just a USL team.
Yeah. No, yeah. I think FC New York was maybe a non-league team.
They predated New York City FC.
Yeah. Which is incredible. My club of the week would be Portland. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
One is if it's in America, one is a club and one is not, and is not eligible.
It is not the Portland Timbers. It is not Portland, Oregon. It is Portland, Maine, with Portland Hearts of Pine.
They are a club and can be featured.
Yeah.
Because the USL Constitution, they are a club. They are privately held by the owners. They count.
Portland Hearts of Pine, I think they are what a USL League One, so that's a third division club in the United States.
They are new.
They're doing the things that are right. They're a new club. I think they have they have a gorgeous badge. They have gorgeous kits. The club has tremendous support. They're, I think, the first professional team in the state of Maine of any sport.
They have a hockey team.
Portland, Maine?
Yes.
In what, the AHL?
One of those like lower leagues. I don't even know if they're in the AHL. We would have to look.
And this is a team that I think's going to one day go to the USL Championship. And I know last time I talked about a technically USL League One team, so this one just came to mind. I really like the backing here, and it's worth fans checking out. They're getting great support. The U.S. Open Cup games are always huge, and I just think they're an American club started from scratch that are doing things right.
Yeah, they play at Fitzpatrick Stadium. I've been by there.
Really?
Yeah, I've been by Fitzpatrick Stadium.
Maine's cold.
It's the high school football stadium for Portland High.
Yeah.
But the team agreed to pay to have all the football lines removed and paint them back.
Yeah.
Which, if you're going to play in a football stadium or a high school stadium, paying to get rid of the lines, it's a step in the right direction. They signed a 5-year lease, which leads me to believe at some point they're building their own.
Yeah.
But they needed to get off the ground.
Yeah, and
Center of the city, there's ample parking, there's bars and all that around. They can build their culture.
and they're getting tremendous support for their culture there, and it's because they're showing love to the local community. And man, I wish we had that out here in the Lehigh Valley.
You know that I have broadcast a soccer match from Portland, Maine.
I did not. Was that for the Sonics?
Yes, it was.
Oh, my Lehigh Valley knowledge coming.
In the 2014 U.S. Open Cup on WGPA.
You can find that on YouTube.
That is not on YouTube.
This one isn't on YouTube?
No, the Sonic traveled to Portland, Maine to take on the Portland Phoenix in the U.S. Open Cup.
Portland Phoenix must have been a non-pro
They were
team.
a USL PDL team.
Okay, so semi-pro, as
And-
you hate to describe them.
You're either paid or you're not. You're professional or you're amateur. And, yeah, went up there day before the game. Beautiful, beautiful early spring night in Maine. Had my lobsters the night before the game. I had 2 lobsters. Then the day of the game, I had a lobster roll and some chowder. And I
Got the real
I
Portland.
went to
Maine
Portland Head Lighthouse, and I got to look out over the water, much like Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, the famous poet, and decided if I would write a poem about the clouds in the sky or the seagull that was going to fly over my head.
Did the Sonic win that game?
The Sonic won that match in extra time.
The last time, I think they're probably, the most recent.
I have a recording of that match.
Do you?
Yes.
We'll have to air that one night.
Yes, and it was a great game. JJ, I think, was there. I believe he took the bus ride. They took a bus. I went myself.
Wow.
The owner flew in. They flew the center back in.
Really?
Yeah, he was
Some ringer?
He had to take finals at college.
Oh, my gosh.
They chartered a plane and flew him in.
Jeez.
It was one of the great stories of all time.
Yeah, this is what you'd see featured on like the cup.USA or .us or the US Open Cups website.
And the game was played at Memorial Stadium at Deering High School.
Wow.
In Portland, Maine. And
that's what I love about the cup.
great city. I was actually there 2 years ago again in the fall. Went to Acadia. Beautiful place. Have you ever been to Maine?
No.
I strongly suggest all of you, if you've never been to Maine, take a trip. The food in Portland is A+.
I think I'd want to go in the summer, not in the winter.
It's nice there's something nice about going to Maine when it's getting not
getting a little
ice
chilly?
cold, not when it's 0. I went in November. Early November, so it was starting to get real cold,
Yeah.
but it wasn't bone chilling.
You go up there like Vermont or Maine.
You go to Killington to ski and all that.
You want a little chilly.
Yeah, to me, I don't want to go to Maine in July. I want to go to Maine when it's cold.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was both times. It was good. Both trips. But last time I went to Acadia National Park, Bar Harbor. If I could move to Bar Harbor. If I could buy a radio station, in full transparency, if I could buy a radio station outside of Bar Harbor, I might move there.
That nice.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Great oyster scene. My jam.
Oysters, lobster, that's kind
Oysters
of...
and lobster.
Yeah.
I'm in heaven right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I love about the U.S. Open Cup.
Maine-
You see these small teams get to play and maybe make it, and then they conclude like they just did this past week or so when Nashville beat Austin and got their first ever trophy as a MLS club. So
Good. I hope that they do well.
Portland Hearts of Pine, yeah, I recommend checking them out. I was very tempted to buy one of their jerseys, and clubs like them or Vermont Green in the USL League 2, they just do a great job.
Vermont won.
Yeah.
They won the title. And did you see the same kid?
That was who I was deciding between them or Portland.
The same kid that scored the winning goal in the NCAA final for Providence scored the winning goal in the USL final.
Yeah. Vermont is another... they're in a league even lower than Portland.
They were getting like 6,000 a game this year.
Do yourself a favor. Go to the Vermont Green FC's website. Look at their jerseys. They're so pretty.
They're really nice.
Yeah.
They've got a great kit. Send us two.
Yeah. Yeah. They have this
If you're watching Vermont Green, go on our website. You can find the address. Just ship them there. Ship them to the office. We'll wear them.
Next episode, we're just both wearing Vermont Green jerseys.
I hope they do it. We're going to clip this, put it on Twitter, and I'm tagging them.
Yeah, absolutely. Show them some love.
Well, it's not Twitter. The X. The Bird app.
Yeah.
I will put it on the Bird app. I was actually at another USL stadium last summer.
Where?
First time I went by it.
Where?
Charleston Battery.
Wow. Yeah.
The only place that
I heard Charleston's gorgeous. I heard
the only place that I fancy more than the coast of Maine in the United States of America is the Low Country. Charleston is the best.
Yeah.
Like the absolute best. You can't even compare it to anywhere else in the country.
Wow.
I think it has the best food scene in the United States. I think it beats New York City's.
Really?
Not even close. Every restaurant's better than the one before it.
You're just like adding places I'm going to have to take trips to. Charleston.
I'll buy a radio
Portland,
station
Maine.
down there one day. I'm speaking it into existence. It's called manifesting.
Yeah.
We'll have CWTAP up here. I'm going to buy a radio station in Charleston, South Carolina.
I love
so I
that.
can sit there and have my frosé and sea clouds.
Yeah.
Sea clouds, the best oyster, but you can only get them 1 month a year in Charleston.
Well, speaking of the future, to maybe close out the show here, what are some things coming up with CWTAP? I think you said you got a busy weekend this week.
We've got football on Friday. We will be at Lafayette for Notre Dame and Palisades. Then on Sunday, we've got the Barnyard Farm Market now, Fall Festival, and that's down there on Route 100 between McCungie and Shimersville, right outside of Emmaus. And Saturday and Sunday, it starts at noon. They're open all day, but the events kind of start around noon. Sunday, 12 to 4, Steelworkers Polka Band will be there. It'll be Steelworkers Sans Robbie. It'll be Dave Korch, Joey Chudik, Eddie Biegai, Polka Hall of Famer, and yours truly. And they will have food. They will have some drinks. They will have games for the kids, some little things they've got going on. They've got the zoo, kind of petting zoo deal set up there because they have chickens and animals out back, so the kids will be able to play with them, and they'll have pumpkins and mums for mom, and a lot of great things going on. Firewood. You can also, with Barnyard, you have to place your order for the firewood because it goes fast there. They do stock through the winter, but if you go there on Sunday, see Bubber.
Yeah.
Tell them that you want some firewood. If you got a wood burning stove or a fireplace, maybe you don't have farm property.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking for.
Well, and one last shout out to Azars.
Azars Supermarket, love them. My mom got her mums there over the weekend.
Really?
She went to Azars. Yeah. Her and Dad were up for the day on Saturday and stopped by at Azars Supermarket, 3131 Linden Street in Bethlehem. And they called me when they left, and it was my dad's been to Azars, but my mom had never been to Azars before. And they went through the vegetables and the cheese, all the feta and all that there. And she called me. She goes, next time I come back, I'm bringing the Yeti. I'm bringing the Yeti cooler and ice. She's like, I'm cleaning that store out.
Oh, I love
so
that.
Azars, if you are watching, you have a new customer, a very satisfied mum buyer.
And one last shout out to where we are today, X Golf, Easton. Come out, play a round or two.
It was a great, great show. Always good having you here, bud.
Appreciate it.
You are
Thank you for
welcome
having me.
anytime you want.
Thank you for having me.
So that'll do it. God bless. Good night from CWTAP. You've been tuned in to The Corner Kick.